And I was gonna say we got the guitar. I'm waiting for the guitar.
All right, wait. Since we have a new producer, is that what we're calling you, Hannah? The producer? Let's talk.
If she's a producer, what does that make Brandon?
Brandon's watching now. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a host.
Okay.
Brandon's a
Both
behind
of you,
the
So
scenes.
he's like the Wizard of Oz.
And you can't see Brandon right now, but he's here with us. Michael's wearing a man bun. Taco, you see him.
Taco, you can talk, but you just said too much in the beginning, and then you went
You're allowed
silent.
to talk. Also, what I'm trying to ask, though, now that Hudson's gone, I'm kidding. We love Hudson.
We love Hudson.
Can we do it? Can we change? I want everybody to vote in the comments. Can we change the intro music, or do you like it? Maybe we're off base. I don't know. I think
We
it's a
know
little
you like the
long.
bongos. I think Hudson got every family member to vote on that. But how do you feel about the guitar riff?
Yeah. Is it a little too much? Is it us? I mean, at this point, I think you know our personalities. I don't know if it's us or not. So let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Are we sponsored by like the Pam and Tommy Lee story or something right now?
don't
That's
know.
the vibe I get.
Yeah. Oh, it's over.
Oh.
The end.
The hard stop. Hannah does the hard stop. She doesn't let it.
But she did it with the melody. It wasn't just like a
Yeah.
now, the lick was done. All right, so we're going to talk about some things. Yeah, we're working on our new format. This is another episode. What episode are we at right now? Is this like 7, 8,
6, 7.
8?
Throwing the 8s up
9?
over there. 8.
I don't know. I think he's throwing gang signs at us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to, keep you up with the NFT news, the crypto news, but the world news too on some level. I know we went
Not
a little,
politics, though.
We went a little off the into the deep
Yeah,
end.
before
I
the
guess.
cameras rolled, Deezy told me we're not talking about politics. It was
I said
too
we
much.
we talked so hard. Let's maybe snap back the other
We
direction.
will not talk about billionaires and eating them and all that. We're not doing it. So
I want to celebrate them.
Yeah.
I want to lift them up.
Raise the
You
roof.
got 1 billion. Let's get you to 10.
Let's get you to 10 and then 100.
Yeah, I want to create that big divide.
Yeah.
I want that 0.1% to have like 0.9%.
I'm not going to be happy until it's Hunger Games. That's where I'm going to. Then I'll be.
Dude, have
happy.
you ever seen that? They break you down into different districts. It's like
Yeah.
the farming district and the rich district, the poor district.
It's like Boss Cat Rocket Club.
All right, you're not in the rich district. What district would you want to live in? Like the textiles district?
You know, I feel like watching that movie. I feel like I could have managed. One of the poorer districts. Like it kind of maybe could have been fun.
Yeah.
Like you're always fighting for your life. You never know when you're going to get.
Your
shot and
cardio is
killed.
probably going to be good. You're going to have good body fat percentage. There are some
You're always
benefits.
on keto, no matter what. You
Keto
don't even
all the
want to be,
time.
but you're on keto.
Yeah, I heard rats rich in omega-3 fatty acids.
Rats and
stuff.
rabbits. That's what they ate.
Rats
there.
and rabbits. That's all you get. That's all you need. You know what? That and crickets. You'll eat crickets. You'll own nothing. And you'll be happy.
Rats, rabbits, and crickets.
All right. What are we going to talk about today? I know she's got it on some. She's got it on the old Kevin story. Now the Kevin thing was pretty crazy. I mean, did you? What do you think? Before we get into the Kevin thing, was like 3 ETH starting at the Dutch auction. This NFT sale raised $70 million. When you see a high mint price, what does that say to you? Does that say this team is well funded? It's probably going to do good, or do you see rug pull?
I don't know if it's rug pull, but I do get cash grabby vibes.
Cash grabby,
You know, Elio Trades, which is a friend of the channel, but he did a Dutch auction with the imposters, and I think if it made outright, he would have made 60 million or something, and he got a lot of hate for that because what kind of project takes 60 million to produce right now in crypto? I don't know of any.
Yeah, none. I know Gary V did it with the V Friends. That was when I first learned about the Dutch auction thing. It was last year. Because I'm not bidding on paintings at Sotheby's. Maybe
But where
you
did
are,
Gary?
but,
Yeah, I am. But
you're the
where?
1%.
Yeah, where did Gary V start his? Where did V Friends start? I can't remember. What was it? 3 ETH.
You know what? It might have been because ETH was cheaper back then. I remember thinking, oh man, these are too overpriced. Let's
like
kind
it
of
wasn't,
hang
but
out
it
on
may
the
have been.
sidelines.
But ETH was like, I think it was.
May
like,
started with a
1,000
1
or something.
Yeah, like it might have been 1
So
something.
yeah, I feel like everything that starts with a Dutch auction is a little cash grabby and scammy. I just don't know why you would even do it that way. Like some people are going to pay a lot more for it, and then some people may not pay, half of it.
Do you think if you paid more, you should have a higher percentage of
probably
higher rarity?
like a higher rarity or something?
Yeah.
You should have some kind of payoff
that.
that you believed in. You believed in the project so much you paid 3 ETH for it, whereas if you
Otherwise,
would
you're
just
just
waited,
a sucker.
yeah, you feel like a sucker.
Yeah.
you don't feel good about it.
I want to help them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't need $60 million. I mean, you could buy a video game studio for that. Not
You can buy a lot,
can't buy Epic
especially-
Games, but you can buy a big one.
Yeah, especially the video game studio that Elio was using. You could buy all of them because it was over there.
You know, I remember when I was younger, they had all those things like learn to make video games. This is such an exciting career choice. I remember thinking like, the world doesn't need that many people to know how to make a video game. I was wrong. I was wrong. All those people, they're probably doing pretty decent today if they stuck with that field.
If they stuck with it. But, you know, I guess you can now replace that with Solidity.
Yeah.
You know,
I always tell people that you could drop out in middle school and be a millionaire if you just learn Solidity. Obviously, it's good to finish school. I'm not saying drop out in 8th grade. 9th and 10th's fine, but don't, Solidity, you'll be a millionaire.
Solidity.
College is a scam. I know we're going off the rails here.
This is not on the piece of paper, and I feel like this could lead us into politics.
It's politics adjacent.
You didn't want to talk about politics.
Well, the billionaire thing, a lot of people, maybe feel counter to us, but I feel like a lot of people are coming around that universities are a scam.
Yeah. Well, they are.
They have this crushing debt.
I have a degree, and I don't use it. Yeah. I can use it. I've used it somewhat here and there, but I didn't need it. Like, I found out later that I have other talents that could make me a lot of money instead of, having to go to school and learn something new.
What'd you study?
I studied psychology and I studied graphic design and all that stuff. Okay. So,
is that how you make the thumbnails?
Mm-hmm.
I said you didn't use it.
No, I said I do use it.
Oh, you do here and there. Okay.
But I mean, as you can tell, I'm not amazing at it.
I'm a 2-time college dropout.
Yeah.
I quit for work both times, and both times at the time ended up being a really good decision. Of course, you can't go back 10 years and choose a different path on a decision tree and be like, that was wrong or that was right. But at the time, certainly was a good move.
And you don't have any student loans.
Yeah. I paid out of pocket. I always worked like
so you don't
3
have
jobs.
any though. So
zero.
So
never had any.
I hear those horror stories about people that go to college and they get these great jobs like a nurse or some kind of technician at a hospital, or even a doctor, and they have 20, 30, 40 grand in student loans.
Speaking of doctors, you went to a doctor appointment today. You have big, big life-changing news happening in like 2 weeks, a fortnight. Speaking of fortnight.
Is that what a fortnight is?
2 weeks.
2 weeks is a fortnight?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Don't know. I'm sure. Let us know in the comments why they call it fortnight. But yeah, your progeny is due in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Having a daughter.
Yeah. I didn't want to say the sex, but you're
why?
Why? The less personal details, the better on some level.
It's a daughter. Yeah, it's going to be a girl. She's going to identify as a girl.
Whatever she wants.
Whatever she wants. But yeah, having a daughter on the 17th. We're very excited. Yeah, she's like 8 pounds
already.
Well, here's the thing. Like,
how do they know?
I don't think they know. What they do is they measure a leg and then they look at the size of the head and they're like, she's 8 pounds. But that's all they do. They don't really know. So like,
I feel like depending on your ancestry lineage, you might have different bone density and thickness, and even newborn muscle to fat ratios.
Yeah.
Because you see some people, they don't have to work out at all and they got like a 6-pack. You got some people, they try really hard, but they're still a little bit of a chonker. So I feel like it's some people have different metabolism.
Yeah. So
our sound guy, I mean,
yeah, you can't keep fat on his body.
Justin, are you going to want your daughter to go to college?
Ooh, that is a good question.
Or what advice would you give to her?
Yeah. What advice? She's 11th grade going into senior. She's starting to...
She's going to look back at this,
counselors are saying you need to start deciding now. You need to choose your college. You need to start planning your trips. She's coming to you for advice. What do you say?
Man, this is tough because I don't want to make my wife mad. I think there's a degree of education that's needed. And what I mean by that, I think you need your English and all your
colors.
Yeah, your colors and like 1, 2, 3 and math and stuff like that. I think those are the basics. And then like in college, I call it Comp 1, Comp 2. I took all my core classes. I did great in those. I think those are important. Being able to write, being a writer, having the ability to write, an essay or a story correctly. I think that's important.
Yeah, I agree.
Other than that, I mean, there's so many. Like, I guess when my parents were growing up, and then when her parents, like, there's a difference in how people can make a living.
Yeah. The economy changes, now much more rapidly than it did 50 years ago, 70 years ago.
So there's no telling what's going to be in vogue or in when my daughter is 18 making that decision. Maybe there won't even be college. I don't even know. Like, maybe there won't be the need for that kind of education level, or it won't be called college, or there'll be other ways
You know, all these
get
universities, they
educated.
expanded. They're building new buildings. You know, tuition costs are rising and rising. But I think, you know, maybe we're going to start seeing that tailwind shift where maybe less people start showing up. Maybe they have to start decreasing tuition. I mean, what do you think these universities are going to do with all these buildings and stuff?
Well, there's no need for all that stuff.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar stuff. There's no need for brick and mortar buildings and stores and stuff like that. And I think that
They stuck with the brick and mortar concept much longer than retail. And now it's, you know, very rapidly switching to you can learn remote. So there's going to be a bunch of abandoned buildings in a lot of these universities.
My school is 100% online right now.
Yeah.
I'm in college.
And did they reduce your cost?
A little bit.
That seems good. Good for them. I mean, I don't know what you mean by a little bit. If it's 2%, that's kind of a scam. But at least they did a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can do, like, just going back to the graphic design degree. I could have learned everything. Now back then I could not have learned all these things online. They didn't have like YouTube to the degree they have it now. They didn't have like all those lessons and stuff like that. But if you want to learn how to do graphic design, all you have to do, they have a whole tutorial on YouTube with Adobe, and you go lesson by lesson. By the end of it, you're a graphic designer. Same thing with editing, same thing with all that stuff.
I feel like not that many people use YouTube for that. You know what I mean? I've been trying to get, my girl's family, I've been trying to get them to download some crypto wallets. I don't want to, spoon feed them, as they say. I don't want them to sit there, okay, download this, click this, type this. I just want them to take the willpower to just do it themselves. And she's like, yeah, I was talking to her sister. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I said, well, if you have the desire to learn, you could. She said, what do you mean, how? I was like, YouTube is the world's biggest university. And it seemed like that was a novel idea. Like she hadn't thought of that before. You can learn everything on YouTube.
Yeah.
Coding, all that. They have professional like MIT and Harvard lectures on there.
Yeah, especially when it comes to crypto. I get a lot of people, even going to Pluto Alliance, when we download or when we airdropped all the revenue from the Google AdSense to all the black hole winners. I had people DMing me asking me, well, how do I find it? What do I do? How do I get it out of my wallet?
And we're talking dang near $1,000.
Yeah.
They can't. We're
Go online.
We're trying to give you $1,000. Not quite, but
how do you connect to Binance Smart Chain from MetaMask? And there's thousands of videos probably on how to do that.
Yeah.
And how to add a token. There's thousands of videos.
On that note, I will recommend use YouTube for crypto stuff because Google might lead you to a scam. So always use YouTube.
Go directly to YouTube.
YouTube. Don't Google it. Don't read an article and follow the description. Always go to YouTube. But all right, what else? We got the Kevin. I know we got some other stuff here. What do you got for us? What'd you call her again? She's the host.
Hannah the host.
Hannah the host. Host with the most.
All right, so yeah, we got Kevin. It was Pixelmon wanted to be the Pokemon of NFT games. Now it's a laughing stock. Deezy, can you explain what happened to Justin?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of, talked about it in the beginning, then we went off track. But, they basically did that Dutch auction, charged a lot of money, raised $70 million. Then the artwork, they kind of were promising these semi-cool looking dragons and, it kind of seemed cool. But then what the delivered product was, it was just a laughing stock. Because they're calling it Kevin. I think Kevin might have been on the asset attributes or something. But it's essentially garbage. And careful with the amount of music that we play. But yeah, I mean, it's a dollar store Squirtle is what I was calling it. And then the name Kevin stuck. I mean, I made some of my own memes. I did a Dirty Dancing scene. No one puts baby in the corner. I replaced it. I just muted the audio and I said Kevin. And then I threw up like a Kevin pic instead of Jennifer Beal, I think it is.
So is that
pre-nose job?
Was that it? That thing we were just seeing?
No, that was that's people doing renditions of it. There's punks and there's funks and there's 3D avatars, but it looked pretty bad.
There's probably around 15 derivatives at this point.
Some are trading around an ETH, 555 items. It was like the main one I think was the Kevin Punks. It was it hit 1.2 ETH. It was good volume. It was over 500 ETH in volume. These people are making good money. You know what though? You're first to market. You marketed it well. I know these people know it's just a meme. You know what I mean? You know what else was a meme? Dogecoin. It's a fraction of a penny. It was a joke coin. It turned people into millionaires.
Fork off of Bitcoin. Off of
Litecoin. Yeah. It was actually, I forget what it's called. You can let us know in the comments, but it's a fork of Litecoin. But
which was a fork
Litecoin,
of Bitcoin.
Yeah, which is a fork of Bitcoin. But Litecoin forked into something else, then it forked off of that. It's a dead coin now,
It's like
but
black coin or something. It was like a dark coin. Black
yeah,
coin.
it was something weird. All right, what else? What else do we got besides Kevin? Not Kevin O'Leary, not Kevin Spade. No.
A
Kevin from Home
CryptoPunk
Alone.
showed up into
Kevin.
the Ukraine wallet.
That's pretty cool. I mean, CryptoPunks, those who don't know, the floor I want to say is, what are they, about like 50, 60 ETH right now? I think they're about 60, maybe 60 to 65. It fluctuates. So you're looking at, what are we looking at? About $180,000, almost $200,000 just for that NFT. If you don't know, the punks were given away for free. They didn't charge for it, and the team made their money by keeping a certain amount.
And they sold them off. Similar to Crypto Skulls, they're doing the same thing. So are they saying that they were sent? It was sent to the Ukrainian wallet to support.
Yeah, support the effort out there. Yeah. Now, one of the questions I had was like, what kind of fiat off ramps?
Yeah, like what are you going to use to turn it into fiat?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I wonder if that's just like, I wonder if there's some quote unquote whales who are like, all right, I'll give you $100K in fiat and just give me this CryptoPunk, just killing it. Or, maybe it's someone, trying to be real transparent. They sold it at floor, or, maybe they're trying to sell it above floor, so trying to reach out if anyone wants to buy it. And yeah, but where are they cashing out their ETH? Where are they cashing out their Bitcoin?
Yeah, I don't know, like especially during a time like this in a country like Ukraine, like where exactly what they're going to do with that.
Yeah,
later maybe you could, it could help rebuild something, but I'm not sure what they were trying to do with the airdrop of a punk.
I mean, Coinbase in America, when the markets are crazy, like Coinbase will go down. Like, what is their equivalent, and is it still working?
What do you think about that when Coinbase goes down? Because that bothers me. Because they've done that like during the May crash of last year, you could not tether out
Yeah.
and stable out with USDT or USDC on Coinbase. It just kept error after error after error. Do you think they do that on purpose? I think they do it on purpose.
It's a tough call because the downside risk of doing it on purpose seems to exceed what gains you would get. Because you know what I mean? They're not holding custody. The more you trade, the more money they make. They don't care if you buy the dip or don't buy the dip. They just want transaction volume. So it's a tough sell. Now, it's fun to say like, yeah, it's a conspiracy. But when you start to incentivize it, I don't know.
Well,
if
are
the
they
incentives are
stabling
there.
out? Are they stabling out first?
Well, they don't
because they have a huge amount. So that's
They
where I always
actually don't have that much. It's in their SEC quarterly filings.
I bet.
And
They
I
have
don't
some
think they're
somewhere.
lying.
I bet some of the people have something that runs.
I'm sure
someplace.
Brian Armstrong has
Yeah,
secret
they have a
Bitcoin.
large amount somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
So like that's why my head always goes to okay, they're stabling first, and then they're going to let us stable out after it's just completely.
But you saw the
been
flack that they
destroyed.
got for just purchasing NFTs and trying to sell them. Like I just don't know if it's the incentives are there because they're billionaires on paper with their stock options. So they want to risk that to make even $250 million in crypto. Like, I just don't know if it's
I don't
there.
think their stocks were there yet. I don't think they were on them. You're talking about the Coinbase.
Well, I
stock.
just mean like today. You know what I mean? And well, stock options, they knew they were going public. They knew their like ownership percentage is going to be worth billions. So like, do you really risk that to make
I don't know.
some Bitcoin?
All I'm saying is it's very interesting that you can't
It is
do
interesting. I
Like,
mean,
there's got to be a reason why, like, that you can't stable out in some of those times.
yeah.
Even because I was even trying to do like 1 ETH. Will they even let me do 1 ETH? No. So it's not like the amount or if there's something weird and fishy in the water when it comes to these unstable times, especially.
Well, I'd like to see some numbers on like, does transaction volume 20x, 10x, 50x during those pivotal times, and what kind of load? I'm not someone who's making apps and, internet companies. I don't know what kind of server issues they have. That'd be, technical software people can probably answer that. Like, what is it? What does happen to your app when 20x volume hits all at once? Because you've seen what happens with Cardano blockchain. Goes to poop. Goes to hell. It's the bad. There, I said it. I said the S word. All right, what else do we got?
All right, so the Ukraine has gotten a lot of donations in cryptocurrency, past over $50 million, and they are going to be announcing an NFT collection to support the defense against Putin's forces.
I feel like that puts you on a list.
what?
I don't know. Getting
An
that
airdrop?
NFT. Buying that NFT.
Is it an airdrop or is it a buy?
I think they pivoted away from an airdrop probably for security rules. They might have citizens of many countries, including America, might have issues obtaining it, receiving it, cashing it out, etc. So it's probably just easier to mint an NFT. You know, hey, here's 20,000. Give us a quarter ETH a piece. They probably do it.
So okay, so what I'm asking though, and I haven't read this article. Are they selling this NFT? Are they minting it and selling it, or were they first going to airdrop it for whatever
No,
reason?
it wasn't going to be. I don't think they gave the details of the airdrop. I don't think they said it was going to be an NFT airdrop. I think they just pivoted away from crypto token airdrop of unknown origin to NFT sell. So I think it's just a complete pivot of fundraising effort. But I don't know. Are you going to mint it? You're going to get the Ukrainian NFT? Now, what do you think the price? You know, what people want to know. They want to know our price predictions. People love price predictions.
Well, how many are there first?
Yeah, we don't know the tokenomics.
Yeah, so you got to know how many there are, what the use case is, who's behind it.
Do you
who's
think
the
they
founder?
care if we have the data? They want us to make a prediction. The less data we have, the better and more entertaining it is for them because we're more likely to be wrong.
Okay.
So let's throw out some.
It's going to go. It's going to fall.
I think it's going to be a quarter ETH.
And it's going to fall to like 0.1, and then eventually it's going to die.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that totally. It'll be 0.01.
I was going to say something, but it wasn't going to be appropriate. I'm trying to be appropriate.
What blockchain are they going to launch this on?
I mean, ETH if they're smart.
I mean, if it's 0.25, I imagine it's ETH. And, you know.
Yeah. If they want maximum money, they'll do it on ETH. Anything else, they'll make less money. I mean, I think that's.
So they're going to market it to people in the West to try to raise funds. They're not marketing it to Ukrainian people.
Yeah, that's kind of like getting your left hand to pay your right.
Yeah.
And then your right hand says, "Hey, left hand, do you have a
Check
water
your-
balloon?
Check your other hand.
Is there a water balloon I can buy so I can throw it at a tank?" Look, we'll put something besides water in there, maybe. You know, piss. Did you ever do any shenanigans like that? Did you ever like fill balloons with stuff?
All right,
and, like,
you want to
throw
hear
it?
a story that I
Yeah.
used to do as a kid? I didn't pee in a balloon or anything, but I used to take. So you know that trick where you can get a water hose and a coat hanger. You can cut a piece of water hose off.
Whoa! Is this appropriate?
No, it's a clean story. It's
Oh, okay.
appropriate. So you take.
You get the coat hanger.
I'm looking at Mike down here, and he's like this. He's like just stuck on me with this story.
Yeah.
Like he really wants to know.
Did you knock someone? Anyways,
All right, so you take a hose, a water hose. You cut it off. You take
and
a
you.
yeah. You attach it to a bottle. No, and you take a coat hanger, the metal coat hangers.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have metal coat hangers back in the day. You feed it through, and you make it look like a snake. And then you take a string, like a fishing line, preferably 20-pound test, and you throw it across the road. And then at night, and then you hide in the ditch. And as a car's coming, you pull it across the road, and it looks like a snake.
Mm-hmm.
And then the car stop. People are obsessed with snakes. They stop and they back over it like 5 or 6 times. But that's not what I did. I didn't do that. What I did is completely different. Is I took a piece of duct tape and I put roofing nails on it. This is pretty bad. And I would
Look, he was like 25. All right, it was a long time ago.
no, I was 20. No, I was little. I was like 5 or 6 years old, or 7, and I would put duct tape and I would pull roofing nails across the road, and cars would run over it, and their tires would pop.
That's a Unabomber move. Unabomber
Yeah,
would
I had
essentially
issues.
do that.
I had issues.
Yeah, the Unabomber, those who don't know, he would get a 2x4 and hollow out the bottom and put nails on it facing up. So and
When I
then
was a kid.
I think it was like 7. But on the road, but when you
Grew up
lift
in
it
South
up,
Georgia.
it blows up. But a good Samaritan would say, "Oh, I see a 2x4 with the nail sticking up. Let me pick it up and get off the road."
Gosh, Unabomber did that. Ted.
Yeah. Oh, Teddy.
believe Ted would do
Teddy.
something
Come
that
on,
way.
man. How do you feel about his brother turning him in?
Well, the dude's killing people all over the world. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, I don't want you to be like, he's wrong.
Yeah.
Blood over water.
Yeah, loose lip sync shows. No, if
That's
I'm
an awkward Thanksgiving.
if my brother's killing people all over the world, I'm going to turn him in.
What's your brother's name?
Josh.
Josh, you hear that?
Yeah, I'm turning you in if you start bombing people all over the world.
So if you are bombing people all over the world, don't let Justin in on
Yeah.
it. He will turn to a turncoat.
So, but no, that's what I did as a kid. What else did I do as a kid? I'm trying to think of anything other things.
I remember my school bus, it wasn't water balloons, but like you're in school, what's a close thing to a water balloon? How do you make a water balloon? I'll tell you what a smart, enterprising I think it might have been Jose did this. The little cereal things, it's like a plastic bowl and you rip off the paper top and it has the Fruit Loops in there. So he would open it up just a little bit and then pour in the 7-hour-old milk and then throw that, like, kind of open it a little and then throw it on, like, Frisbee it onto a windshield, and it would just be like an explosion of milk and Cheerios over someone's windshield. And we'd throw it out the bus. It was a pretty bad, middle school. A lot of fights.
All right, I
and
want to hit you with this
stuff.
one. And you're gonna judge me after this, but I painted my neighbor's dog, so I spray painted him green.
How old?
I think I was like 8 or 9 when I did that.
A little,
Yeah.
borderline. If 3 years older, I'm smelling serial killer vibes. That's about the break off, or you can just say, he's just a little turd.
And then I would dig a hole and put it, and then it's just his head would stick up, and then I'd get a mower. And I'm kidding. I didn't do any of that.
We shouldn't be laughing at this.
None of that. No, I spray painted my neighbor's dog green.
Hit that like button if you laughed at that and you feel bad like you're going to hell. We're all going to hell together.
I love pets, but anyway, no, I did spray paint my neighbor's dog green, and then the sheriff came over to my house, and they tried to scare me, like scare you, like oh, we're gonna send you to jail, and I'm like, I knew better. I'm like, I'm 9. I'm gonna go to jail.
Yeah, even then. The Scared Straight show was always funny. Every now and then, like, most of the time they get scared, but every now and then you could tell, like, the kid's been coached by his, like, older friends, like, they can't touch you, and they can't do this, they're gonna lie to you. And they just don't get scared at all. The guys like, I will rape you when you come in here, and they're just like, no, you won't. Shut up.
No, you can't.
But then you'll have the kid who's, like, pissing tears and just like, I want my mommy. They're like, well, you're the toughest kid, and, in 10th grade, just 1 hour ago, what happened, Billy?
10th grade.
You think you're really tough when you're like 15, 16, 17. You think you're really smart, too. You're like, I'm so much smarter than every adult near me.
You don't realize how dumb you were until you get older.
Yeah.
And then when you get older and you're like, man, I was so stupid back then.
It does slow down, like the rate of, intelligence increasing. So, a 5-year difference, 13 to 18, completely different person. You're definitely way smarter. 18 to 23, even like, oh my God, I'm so much smarter. But, 30 to 35, you're not seeing as big a jump.
You've been proven wrong so many times, you've learned. You're like, okay, maybe I'm not as smart as I think I am.
Speaking of smart, this stole Justin's idea. He had the idea for an NFT gumball machine. They now have an NFT vending machine in New York.
Man, it's not a bad idea. I mean, there's a lot of questions here, like what's the chain? Like is it giving you? It'd be an easy solution. You print out. I almost don't want to say this because in case they're not doing this, it's a good idea. It just prints out a QR code.
That's what they're
That's
doing.
what it
That
does.
is what they're doing. Yeah,
So,
that's a good idea.
It is a good idea. My idea was going to be an on-chain gumball machine where you put a bunch of NFTs in a contract, and then to interact with it, it's like half an ETH, and then you might get a punk, you might get something that's worth nothing, you might get an ape or whatever. But where the development is right now on Ethereum, it would cost a fortune.
Yep.
Because it's like 3 different calls to the network. So it would cost too much to do something like that. But this way, I feel like this way it might be even cooler. Like it's almost like that claw machine, at the, you're a big Dave and Buster's guy. It's like the claw
Chuck E.
machine.
Cheese.
You're a Chuck E. Cheese guy. Yeah,
remember.
that story. Yeah. So it's if you could do it in a physical way where you could just print out a bunch of QR codes where you can claim it, when you win it, I think that's pretty good because you don't have to interact with a contract. You're just paying it right there, and then you might have to pay the claim fee.
All right, let's stick true to brand and derail this. Japan, what are you doing with your vending machines? What is going on with all that stuff? You see all the things you can buy in vending machines over there? Mm-mm. I mean, we got some people in the room nodding their head. I'll go ahead and say it. I was hoping that we can skirt around this. Yeah, you can get like used panties. You can get like weird
I feel like we could have
meals.
skirted around this because we didn't even have to bring it up. Like you just,
Well,
all right. I'm going to talk about the used
on
panties.
that,
You guys
on
are
that,
going to
on
want to
that.
know about.
You never want to be the person. This is just general advice. You never want to be the person that brings something up and then doesn't say what it was that they're talking about.
Okay, that's.
Oh man, that was. Oh, never mind. I can't say nothing. You
Got a
can't be
secret.
that person. You
It's
can't
so
be
good.
that person.
Yeah, those Japanese people, man, they're something else.
Yeah.
I didn't know about these vending machines, but
I don't know how common it is. I mean, honestly, you can have one in a city of 10 million people, but you have 10,000 people take that same picture on social media. You're like, they're everywhere. You know, that's the narrative you'll have in your mind. And it could just be one random one near an airport or something.
So it's a vending machine with used panties, and that's it?
Yeah, those things exist. I mean, you can get like a lot of weird stuff, though. You can get like, I mean, I
Some
want to
girls
say,
sold bathwater on Twitch. A lot of Twitch streamers.
yeah, bathwater. Are we going to have a NFT Alpha bathwater line? You don't want to sell bathwater?
Let us know in the
Utility
comments.
is like, that could be with our free drop. If it's holding a glass of water, it's a bath water, and you can send it to them.
Yeah. I mean, I try not to knock people's hustle. You know what I mean? So
Is
They
it
sold some
Deezy's
bathwater and made money.
bathwater or
Good
is
for
it
them.
Justin's bathwater?
Well, I don't take
Or
baths.
both.
I'm not a
Both
big bath guy.
same tub. That's probably like the rarest in the collection then.
2 guys, 1 tub.
All right, we got the name. All right, let's go ahead and get that URL. All right, what else do we got? We got a little Snoop Dogg action here. Mixtape invites remixes. Does it authorize them? You know, we've kind of talked about this, I think, on NFT Update. So you got a Snoop NFT. It gives you a beat. He's saying you could remix the beat. You can, you know, put different vocals on it. You can do whatever you want. This is your beat. You own it. But we really haven't tested the legal framework of the IP.
Okay, so the first person that did that, well, I don't know if it's the first person, but one of the more famous people, I would say probably
Sport
as
Ape.
famous as Snoop, was Eminem. Sold a beat. Tom McDonald bought it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Tom McDonald wrote a song on it, or wrote
I remember
the
that,
rap,
yeah.
and he owns it.
Shout out to Tom.
Tom's a big. He's a channel friend. I actually talked to him about this, and he's got. So not only did they get the beat, but they got some of the original artwork cover for the Stan song that Eminem did, and some other physical memorabilia along with the NFT beat. So it was pretty cool. So we've seen this done before, and he does own the rights. It's really easy. We also saw it, NFT NYC. We saw it with Quentin Tarantino. Now, he did get some pushback from Miramax for offering unseen movie clips from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, so I think with that IP stuff, like I think Bored Apes was the first PFP drop that said you own the IP. I think with that, if you have 100% ownership, I think you're good. But when you have assets that it's this weird gray area of like
Miramax and Quentin Tarantino wrote the movie, and there's just
Or
who
with
owns it?
music, it's like, all right, well, you have to make your next 4 albums with us, and there'll be some stuff like
With
what you
labels.
can do with remixes, or what you can do with guest features, or what you can do with this, that, and the other. And, you know, can you be in a commercial or not, and whatnot. So, I think if you got the clearing, and you know, you're not contractually obligated to anybody, I don't see any problem with it. But I wonder if someone smaller. It wouldn't be Eminem wouldn't do it. Snoop Dogg wouldn't do it. I'm never suggesting that they would do this. But you get some producer that's smaller. They say you own the IP rights to my beats, but then someone makes like $25 million. Are they going to come after him for a little piece?
Of course.
Yeah, I think so
Of
too.
course.
Because this, people are greedy.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how this whole thing plays out, especially with music. We've talked about this several times. It's something that we're big on as far as Hit Network goes, is music NFTs and hit music.
Yeah, we're working with an icon. I may have said too much.
You did. Yeah.
All right, I won't say the genre.
But anyway, but we're all trying to figure this out, and I feel like sometimes we're all walking blindly at this point.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to mix in blockchain NFTs into the music industry, and what does that look like, and how does it add value? Everybody's like, well, the artist owns the NFT, they get a royalty. Okay, well, who's buying an NFT to buy the song? Who's actually buying music anymore?
You know what it is?
No one.
We're like an internet. It's like the internet in the mid '90s. How does commerce get involved with the internet? No one really knows what it looks like. There isn't a use cases that we can replicate really that are like really successful. So it's the Wild West right now.
How does the artist make money right now? Not from people downloading their songs or people buying albums.
It's like live and
They
merch.
go to concerts and merch, but yet it's touring.
Yeah.
So I think it's cool to like think of NFTs and an NFT music label, but we really need to figure out what that actually have a serious conversation about what that actually means for the industry, because I don't think anybody has a good answer for it. It sounds cool. And
Well, we're going to be the ones to come up with that answer.
that's what we're trying to do.
What
So
we're doing here.
I do think that going on touring and stuff like that, I think tickets are going to be the main thing for an NFT use case when it comes into the music or artist industry.
I saw a drop today. It was saying they're the first festival using NFTs for ticketing, and they said they're the first annual. It hasn't even happened yet. I was wondering. I was trying to think. Has anyone actually done it? Like VCon's going to, and these other things are going to, and there's a CNFT one it's going to in October. But has anyone actually done it yet?
Well, which conference is that?
Me and Hannah were looking at it. All right. That brings us to our next topic here. Festivals. It's about to be a crypto conference season.
So
But yeah,
it's
I mean, they're
after
billing
party.
themselves. Yeah, I mean, the chain smokers is probably like the big thing. And what's the girl's name? That's
Chain smokers are still big.
Is the Kid Leroy, and then Charlie XCX was involved in it
Charles
too,
XCX,
but she
yeah.
got a lot of hate from her fan base, so she actually backed out. So now it's just the chain smokers and the Kid Leroy.
She got wait. Who got hate
Charlie
Charlie.
XCX. She's a pop singer.
because of
Because she
Working
was-
with NFTs
it's
because
the
they
Magic-
boil
Magic the
oceans.
Gathering situation.
It's yeah. It's a community turned against you because of lack of knowledge.
It's so stupid. Anyway, whatever. We'll get on that later. Next week we'll talk about that.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, I mean, we might have some conferences going to. Those things are always fun. What's your overall take on crypto conferences? For someone who's never been, they're thinking about going to Miami. They're thinking about getting an Airbnb. They're thinking about buying this
Okay.
$1,000 ticket.
Right here on this website.
What do you tell them?
If you're going to take this website at face value on how the conference is going to be, you think it's going to be this crazy conference. I mean, Ty Lopez. is
Ty
gonna be there.
Lopez.
And you think all this it's going to be cool. It looks put together. Mark Cuban. We're joking about Ty Lopez. He's a joke, but Mark Cuban's cool. But you think it's this well put together thing. Every single conference, I feel like I don't know if I want to be honest because I would like to speak at one, but I feel like every conference that we've been to a lot, and we've all said the same thing about these conferences. They're just not put together very well.
Yeah.
And I also feel like, and I'll let you speak it for yourself, I feel like some of the speakers, I'm not talking about Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and Francis Suarez.
He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
But some of the more smaller, intimate speaking engagements, the quote unquote professionals, they just don't. They're not teaching me anything new.
Yeah.
Maybe they're teaching how to set up a MetaMask to somebody else, but like not for me. And so I've never been really impressed with them with the overall conferences.
Yeah, honestly, it's almost like normie tweets coming out of their mouth, like, "Hey guys, I want to
Price prediction.
Clap if you think we're early." And everyone's like, "Yeah, who's still building? Who's building?
building?
Who's building this year? Who doesn't care about where the price is right now?" And people are like, "Ooh, I don't need to hear that for the 100th time. That does nothing for me. It's a waste of my time."
It's like a Tony Robbins thing. But go ahead.
It's like going to Tony Robbins for the 7th time.
How do you think that they could make it better? Like, what should they be saying? What should they be talking about?
That's
All
a
right,
good question.
here's how. Less speakers, because that was the problem with the worst I've seen was probably the Bitcoin conference. It's like they got 3 to 5, 6 stages, and they got people just constantly talking. By the time you're on your 111th speaker, you're really scraping the bottom of the barrel. So maybe just do less speaking. I know it's going to have less stage events, whatever. I don't know. I'd rather see someone juggling chainsaws at it. Let me see my 5 really good speakers, and then throw some people balancing a piano on their chin. I don't need to see all this idiots.
I like that.
Not all of them are idiots, but there are some people who are just.
I think the speaking topics could be. I think what they're talking about can be a lot. Because some of the stuff that you can read it on the itinerary is just like who's going to want to learn about that. Some of the speakers never been heard of, and they're talking way too techy, and who really cares? So if they can kind of create more of a more friendly to mainstream audience about where the space is going, what's new in the space, just keep it real basic in that way. I think it'd be way more entertaining for people.
Yep.
And also adding some more entertainment.
Yeah.
I know some of these are having some artists come and sing and stuff like that. I think that's cool, but none of the ones I've ever been to.
You know who you probably agree the best speaker I saw was when Tim Dillon was up there with the
Tim
Wingo
Dillon was
Vibe.
good.
That
He
was great.
like- yeah, he was. He
And we've
had
seen
him
some
rolling.
big, we see Quentin Tarantino. We've seen some, maybe even Suarez.
I
seeing
thought
these
Quentin
people talk-
Tarantino was a go, even though it was weird. I think he was actually
His honesty was refreshing.
But he understood NFTs and the importance of it, and that type of drop that he announced at the conference was great. Like that's the kind of big news you want to hear. and I enjoyed his.
If I go to this one, what do you feel about me heckling Ty when he's on stage for content?
Yeah,
Should
Ty,
we do
Ty
that?
Lopez. I wish I could find that. I'd have to dig
yeah,
through.
I got a
Ty.
question for you guys. Would you rather go to a Bitcoin conference or a VCon?
VCon.
VCon, Snoop's going to be there. A lot of heavy hitters are going to be there, entertainers, mainstream people. But going back to Ty
Smarter
Lopez
people.
real quick before Taco interrupted me. I think he's a joke. He's a joke. He's a scam artist. He's the one that sells those, 7 ways to make $1 million. And, here's all my books, buy all of them. And it's just scam after scam after scam after scam after scam.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a big. And when I saw his name on there, executive chairman of what? Is he executive of the conference, or is he executive chairman of himself, or whatever?
Of Lopez Industries.
When I saw him on there, that made me bearish on the conference altogether.
Yeah, there are some good people up there. It's like VaynerMedia's president's there. Suarez, Cuban, we mentioned. There are some good people, but yeah, it's I would say.
What's your feeling on Ty Lopez?
I really don't have any. I mean, I only know like him. I see him on Keemstar every now and then. I used, it's a meme at this point. Me saying,
Haven't you
I
read
used to
something
be a
that-
Twitch streamer, so
Didn't
I
he-
would try to keep up with the stuff.
You told me
but-
about this. Didn't you say something about his NFT project or something?
Yeah,
People-
he's dropping one, and there's pushback that he's, it's a little too expensive for what he's going to be delivering. And I think it's a NFT you must get for all entrepreneurs. So it kind of goes into what you're saying, like you're trying to sell you a bunch of bull crap on how to be rich. If someone's trying to sell you on how to be rich, they're getting rich off of you.
So that's what
Mic
you're
drop.
saying Ty Lopez is. You're taking a hard stance.
I don't
that
see
Ty Lopez is getting
how
rich off of
buying
you.
thousands of dollars worth of a single frame of a picture is going to make me a better entrepreneur. It's going to teach me a lesson that I wasted my money. I mean, there's things you can read Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you want a good financial book, that's a good one. That's a good starting point. Teaches you about assets versus liabilities. But honestly, I've never read his books, so it's hard for me to say like the books suck. But I mean, I'm not seeing glowing reviews from anyone in my circle. So until I read his books, I'm just
You're going to stay kind of neutral. Basically,
kinda
you said
neutral.
He was a scammer. So we understand what you're saying. We got it.
that's yeah. I stick with my original thesis there. Anyone trying to sell you on how to get rich is just getting rich off of you.
I got another question. So, barrier to entry. To get into VCon, you have to own a VFriend. I think the floor price is upwards of $10,000, $20,000. Not everyone
Only
could
10?
go to that.
It's not too
What's the barrier to entry for like a NFT Miami conference? And on top of that, would you want to listen to these guys talk about NFTs, or someone like the audience at VCon? All those people are specifically NFT project oriented.
Well, Justin kind of said it with like, it falls in multiple categories. You got some people, it's a great talk. Then you got some people that are like an entertainer, like a Tim Dillon. I'm not watching Tim Dillon to learn about blockchain technology. I'm watching him to be entertained. So like, to me, that's great. But you can go too far into the tech where like, yeah, that's something I would be learning, but I don't want to learn about, a Solana, Terra Luna bridge is going to disrupt the financial sector with logarithmically backed stable coins. I'm falling asleep just by the title. But, that's what you would learn. That would be the smarter people. I think we would fall more in the more fluff than education, but I feel like we would be more entertaining than someone saying, clap your hands if you're building. Who wants to see that?
I feel like,
Because we would just make fun of the thing the whole time. Make fun of the food trucks, make fun of the porta potties, make fun of the, the parking, make fun of just, it would be fun.
Yeah. 14K, or no, 14 ETH is the floor for. So if you want to go to VFriends, you got to spend 14 ETH
Pushing 40K.
to go there. Because if it was 10, I was going to buy one live on.
I mean, if it was 10K, I don't want to be like, Deezy's got a big bag. I would have just bought one. Because
got a
that's like
decent
crazy. Well, there's the meme that I can only afford 4 chain link at a time. So, I want to
But
stay.
that's not true. I mean, you can afford.
I can
more
afford
than that.
6.
Yeah.
So you have to pay that much to go to VCon. You have to pay this much to go to Miami NFT.
I mean, that's not bad. Like $250
Well,
for a
it's-
crypto conference is pretty cheap because they run expensive.
Again, it's apples and oranges, though. The people that are going to be at VCon are, Snoop Dogg just announced that he was going to be a speaker, but that's just the beginning of who's going to be at VCon. This is going to be Ty Lopez. That's why it's only $250 to go see him.
All right, next. So this is Miami NFT, and this is April 1st through 3rd. And then we have Bitcoin Miami, which is going to be right
Jordan Peterson.
after.
You know what? And, if you see us at these conferences, come up and say, hey, we like talking to, people that like what we put out.
Yeah, I'll take a picture with you.
I won't put out, but,
So these are some of the speakers at Bitcoin Miami.
Ooh, Bukele, Sailor. I mean, that's pretty awesome so far.
Peterson.
Yeah, Kathy Wood. I mean, there's some good people there. I would definitely. I mean, Bitcoin conferences
Logic.
are the real deal.
Okay.
They
Aoki,
also have
Logic.
some
Dead Mouse.
artists. So out of these two, which one do you think is better?
Oh well, Bitcoin conference is just tough to beat. Yeah. It's been there. It's done its thing. It's it's multiple years at this point.
We
It's
went to
just-
both last year, and the only thing, there was a few things wrong with it, but it was outside, which was miserable.
The people who aren't used to hot sun were falling like flies.
Yeah, and it was. See, it's in April this time, but it wasn't in April. It was in
May, I think, wasn't it?
no. You had just got here, but I think it was in June.
Maybe
the
June.
conference.
Yeah.
It was burning up outside.
Well,
was
remember they had to
terrible.
push it back because
Yeah,
yeah,
the thing
the thing.
with the 1 and the 9. Yeah,
Whoa, you're reminding me of that terrible tragedy.
yeah. Blood and
9
bones.
and 1. All right,
Um,
is that all we got? We got the Snoop Dogg.
I don't
thing.
think people understand. Do you think they understand blood and bones?
I don't know. On that note, Alex said, I said, what time is it? She said, it's 10:11. I said, oh, man, that reminds me of that terrible tragedy. And she laughed, so she got the 10:11 joke, but
And Alex is your fiance, right?
we're together. No, I wouldn't go that
Still
far.
haven't
It's
asked
still
her yet.
early.
You still got that ring, man. That one that we went and you wanted me to look at. Yeah, still got it.
Look, the Chuck E. Cheese, gumball machine really puts out good ring pops. All the flavors that are hard to find.
Nice. Okay, whatever.
You got anything
Right.
else for us, Hannah? Oh, it's the Would You Rather. Oh, God. I forgot.
Taco's got to do it. Would you rather?
Would you rather always have BO and not know, or always smell BO around you
From other people.
from everyone
So
around you?
you have BO forever, but you don't know. Or you just smell BO constantly on everybody.
So you have BO and no one tells you have it your whole life?
They might tell you, but you're just unaware. You just don't know.
Okay, so you do know at some point.
You just smell terrible.
So, no matter how much deodorant you put on, it's just still going to stink like BO.
BO.
You don't smell it. You just forever stink. You know what? I'm going to say the second one. I'll tell you why. You go to someone's house that has dogs, and it's so many dogs. And I'm not saying, you have your 3 dogs and you clean. That's fine. But that house that has 8 of them, they let them piss on the carpet, piss on the floor. And you walk in the house and your eyes start stinging. They're used to the smell. So I feel like you would get used to just people stinking like Funyuns.
So I always try to break these down. So what you're saying is you won't you will get used to it? Is that what we're saying?
I mean, I think that's just human nature, right? You they'll stink, but I mean, if you're alone in a room and then you see your first person, they're gonna be like, "Woo!" But after you've been at work for 6 hours, you're just like, you're used to it.
Okay. Well, if you get used to it, then obviously, but that's not what the sentence says. You smell BO on everyone else. You always smell BO.
Always smell.
Always smell.
Okay.
So
you don't
that's
get
what
used
you
to
got.
it.
You never get
You
used.
never
to
get
it.
used to it.
You can't make your own rules up.
it's a new
we have
thing
to
with the
read
olfactory.
Yeah, we have to read these as they're written. Would you suffer, or would you like to be the one
All
that
right.
suffers?
Now that I know now that I'm operating under the assumption I just can't get used to it. It always stinks. Man, that's tough. I guess
basically, are you selfish or not?
you got to
'Cause
find
if you-
someone that got the COVID thing and they can't smell anymore, and you just stink.
See, you make your own rules up. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the non-selfish approach and say I'll
So
take one for the team.
you
I'll
suffer.
always smell.
You suffer.
Yeah, BO. I don't want.
That's selfless.
Yeah, I'm a selfless person.
You would suffer, but then everybody would like you because they would
Yeah,
all
I'm
stink and you wouldn't.
wearing it, wearing it on my shoulders
Yeah.
instead of
Your Atlas.
And yeah,
Holding the
They would
globe
write books
upon your
about me.
shoulders. Yeah.
and mine.
Don't shrug.
You would honestly be a legend if
would
you
be.
didn't stink and everybody else did.
See?
Real quick, I know this is you can't even see him. Brandon, have you read any Ayn Rand or Ayn Rand? I have not. Yeah, we can tell. We can tell. All right. What else do we got?
That's all.
All right.
Cue
that's
the
all.
music.
All right, yeah. Oh, wait. We didn't play bongos once.
No, I put them away. I put them away. We're taking them away.
That's a curse word in this office now.
I just don't want to do the bongos.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't
And then, hey, look, if y'all like really, really want the bongos back, but be honest, like let us know.
Yeah, don't lie to us.
But we just like I feel like I think we've outgrown the bongos.
They're played.
Yeah. Well, real quick update. We're not gonna. Hopefully, we're not gonna be in this set next week. So we're gonna be upgrading. So y'all be
New
sure.
background. Make sure you turn on those notifications.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear that.
And subscribe.
I want it to be like.
Subscribe the.
Wow, now, wow. There we go. I mean, they're nodding their head a little too hard to that.
Well, Taco's doing it as a joke.
Can't take anything he does serious. All right.
That's it.